Hello, Debbie here. Welcome to another video. Today is my weekly WIP Chat where I'm going to work on a diamond painting or a WIP and just share with you some things that's been going on around here in my daily life and also in my diamond painting life. So grab something that you want to work on. It does not have to be a diamond painting. It can be anything that you want to do, or you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. I'm going to turn us around and let's get started. Okay, I think I have everything ready to get started here. I am going to be working on Gilded Serenity, and this is by Bot Brush Studio, and it is from Mirthful Diamond. And here is what it looks like. I don't know what drew me into this one, but I love this diamond painting. And so I just could not wait to get it. I have not gotten very far on it, but I'm working on it now. So I'm working on it sideways because I am on one of the first columns here. Instead of doing rows, I am doing columns on this diamond painting because it is so large. I will put in the size of this diamond painting. I'm not even sure. It's on the other side of the canvas. So I'll put this in if anybody's interested. I will also include a link to Mirthful Diamond Art to their website. I also am an affiliate with Mirthful Diamond Art. I will put my affiliate information underneath the description as well, and it will save you a little bit of money if you are interested in any of their diamond paintings. For those of you that are new, welcome. I hope that you enjoy what you see and hear today. And for those of you that are not new, welcome back. I really appreciate you coming back week after week. It really is a blessing to me to have all of you guys here, and much appreciated. I hope everyone is doing well. Let me know in the comments what you're working on, if anything, and how your weekend or your week was. I am changing my WIP Chat days again. I'm thinking that I am going to try and see if Sunday works better for me. I had my WIP Chats on Sunday a few years ago, actually, and I think that it just tends to work better with me and my schedule, and especially now that I am doing more with the family, mainly because of the grandbaby, and I am not sad about that at all. It's been a very interesting week with her. She started running a fever last Sunday, and it had gotten kind of high. And so Maddie took her to the urgent care, and they couldn't find anything wrong with her. They did several tests to make sure that she didn't have, COVID or anything like that. And it just came back, and they said that she had the rhinovirus, which is basically just a cold, but she didn't have any other symptoms, just a high fever. So Madison stayed home with her on Monday. She was very fussy on Sunday, and so Madison stayed home from work on Monday with her. And then on Tuesday, she was still running a fever, so she couldn't go to daycare. And so I stayed with her Tuesday and Wednesday, and that was definitely an adventure. On Tuesday, I did stay from like 6:30 until about 4:30, and then Kyle got home from work, and so I went home. And then on Wednesday, I got there about 6:30 again, but then Kyle had called and told me that they were having everyone, the non-essential employees, take off work because he worked close to the Air Force Base in Atlanta, and President Trump was coming in. And so they were having non-essential employees that worked close by. They sent them home. So he ended up coming home early, but then Madison was very concerned because she was just really worried about Claire. Claire still had a fever. And so Madison called her pediatrician, asked the pediatrician, if she should bring her in. The pediatrician thought it would be a good idea because she'd had the fever for a while. And so Madison called me, asked me if I could take Kyle and Claire to the pediatrician because he has a truck and she can't ride in it. So, because there's no real back seat, so she cannot ride in his truck, and that has been causing kind of an issue, and his truck is paid off, so they're gonna have to figure something out. But for now, I'm close by, I can do it. So I took them, and the doctor said, yeah, she just has a cold, or they weren't really sure. They just said it was viral and that it's just going to have to play its way out. So I dropped them back off at their apartment, and then I went home. And then on Thursday, Madison was very concerned because Claire was up all night, and Madison was off on Thursday because it was her birthday, and so she took off work on Thursday. She was hoping that she'd be able to take Claire to daycare. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So she was home with her, and then she said that Claire started acting really strangely. She said that she kind of just went limp when she was changing her, and so she grabbed Claire and was going to take her to the urgent care that's over by their house, that's in the same building as her pediatrician. So she called me and said it was important, and so I went up there, and by the time I got up there, they were already back there. And that's the one good thing about the urgent care where they go, because they're never really crowded because it's not an ER, it's just urgent care. So they got in really quickly, and they checked everything so that she looked really good, but she did have 102 temperature, and the pediatrician that was on call was concerned about that. So he checked her breathing, and he said her lungs sounds really good, but he wanted to do a chest x-ray just to rule anything out. And Madison wasn't sure to do it, but she said she was going to go ahead just because she wanted to make sure nothing was wrong. And so the baby was getting really hungry, and Madison did not bring a bottle with her because she was in such a hurry to get out of the house to take her to the urgent care. So luckily she lived about 10-12 minutes from where we were, and I went to her apartment, fixed the baby a bottle. By the time I got back, she'd already had the x-ray. The x-ray was fine. And so this doctor also said, I think that we just need to monitor her, and it's one of these things that's just going to have to run its course. It should be gone in a couple of days. And sure enough, on Friday, she didn't have a fever. She was her old self. She slept all night long on Thursday night. And so Madison took her to daycare on Friday, and she was so happy to see her little friends. I mean, she was only 8 months, but it's like they have become friends already, which is really strange, I think, for kids to be this young. But she got so excited when they were at daycare. And so I ended up picking her up Friday night from daycare, and because they were going to go out for Madison's birthday on Friday, her and Kyle. And so we went over, and my husband took his car, and then I took mine. So we ordered a pizza, and then Dave and Paige played with Claire for a little bit, and then we ate our pizza, and then they ended up leaving. And so Maddie and Kyle got there about 8 o'clock. I had already gotten her jammies on, was about to fix her nightly bottle, was about to put her to bed. And so they came in, and I left. And so she said that as soon as I left and she started taking her bottle, she went to sleep and slept all night. So she was exhausted. But Madison wanted me to keep her up until they got home. And let me tell you, that was hard. It was hard to keep her awake because she was so tired. She wanted to go to sleep. I was playing with her and singing to her and all these kind of things and getting on the floor with her, and she wasn't going to have it. So I was so glad when they got home. So I thought, well, y'all can take over and you can figure out what you're going to do about trying to keep her awake. So she went to sleep right after her bottle, and she slept all night long. So that was definitely a good thing. And today is Saturday when I am filming this. And so we are going to go out as a family. We're going to go to a Mexican restaurant that we all really like. They also have an outside patio that we are hoping that the weather is going to be okay and we can sit out there with Claire and put her in a high chair. She loves fruit, so Madison's going to bring her some fruit. She loves Cheerios. They have to, of course, put a lot of water in it because she doesn't have any teeth yet, but that will give her something to do. They're pretty fast at this Mexican restaurant, so we're hoping that everything will go okay with her. And if it doesn't, then we'll just all take turns and watch her and let everybody else eat, and then we'll eat. I'll probably end up doing that. But she was just so much fun this week, so I have been really busy doing baby duty. And then last weekend, last Friday, I ended up, this was before this past week, I had my last WIP Chat go out last Saturday, and my best friend and I went to Scrapbook Expo last Friday. I think that was the 19th of July, and we had so much fun. We first went shopping, and then we found our two favorite shops. There were a few shops that did not come back this year that had been going there for years and years, but they didn't go back. We were very disappointed in the classes that we took. The classes have been now reduced to only 1 hour for each class, so there's not much that you can do in there. And the one class was almost to the point of being boring. And so we did get quite a bit of things for card making, and so that made it worth it. And then we spent 2 nights, Friday and Saturday night, at a hotel that was close to Expo, which was in Duluth, Georgia. And we pretty much had the table to ourselves, almost the whole row we had to ourselves, which was very unusual. And so that was really nice. We took some snacks. We brought our dinner and heated it up, which was lasagna, because there are so many people that go, and it's in a busy location anyway, and it's very hard to get in and out of places around there for dinner. And anytime that you leave where the expo was at this convention center, you had to pay $10 to park again. So we went in and out quite a bit, more than what we probably should have. But we wanted to go to make sure that we had gotten checked into the hotel. We had a class, and then we went, checked in the hotel, and we had some snacks there. And then we ended up going back for dinner, and then going back because we wanted to see the end of Expo, because they have different prizes and different things, and then they have different competitions and stuff, and so it's always fun. So we didn't stay as long as we normally do on a Friday. Then on Saturday morning, we had to be over there by 10 for a class, and so we got over there in plenty of time, did the class. I diamond painted. I had gotten more people that kept looking at my diamond painting. Most of the people that actually stopped by there, all they knew was diamond dots. And so I found that to be quite interesting, actually, that they'd only known about diamond dots, didn't know about anything else. I was doing a canvas from Captured by Radiance. That's Simon, the one that I've been working on for a while. And I also have an enhancement pack, and they didn't know what that was, so I was explaining to almost everybody that stopped by, which was kind of fun, just to talk to people. But then what I found to be really interesting is there was a company that had a Diamond Dots banner, and they've been there for a few years. But I thought, I'm just going to look and see. I wanted to see if they had one of what they call the master classes, because they were having a 25% off sale until noon on Friday. And so we had gotten there in plenty of time. So I went by there and I thought, well, this is quite interesting, because they had a lot of diamond art clubs, diamond paintings, and some older ones, some newer ones, and the prices were actually comparable to diamond art clubs. Some were even a little more expensive. That were the older ones that were in demand. They hadn't been open, but I thought, well, this is odd. How can Diamond Dots sell Diamond Art Club? And they had a couple of other ones that was Hobby Lobby that was mixed in there. And so come to find out, it was not Diamond Dots, the company itself, that was there selling and had the banner. The company that was selling it, at one point years ago, Diamond Dots had, I guess you'd call them consultants, and the consultants would sell Diamond Dots, kind of like you would it for any other company, such as Creative Memories, if you've heard of them, or Stamping Up, or anything like that, third party, to where you have to go through the consultant gets paid if they make a sale, and they don't have to carry inventory. Some do, but that's what they had ended up doing with this company. And then apparently Diamond Dots had stopped that a while back. Well, they had all of these Diamond Dots that they had paid for, and I mean, it was hundreds of Diamond Dot canvases. And so I guess they were, I don't know if they bought Diamond Art Club and decided they didn't want to do it, or if they just bought Diamond Art Club and then they're just going to sell them. I'm not really sure how they would even think about making money off of that if it was pretty much comparable to Diamond Art Club, because that's what they would have paid for it, unless they had a lot of points or something. I have no idea. I didn't ask them. The only question that I did ask, because I couldn't help myself, of course I had to, was that if I buy a Diamond Art Club from you, does that nullify their warranty? So if something happens, if I need additional drills, if I'm missing something, will Diamond Art Club, will they cover it? And I knew what the answer was, but I just wanted to see what they were going to say. And they said, well, there's an issue with that. They won't cover it, but we will. We'll cover, if you run out of drills, we will cover X amount. And so I found that to be quite interesting. So I thought, okay, because there was a couple that I wanted, and I didn't know if they had something going on where you could actually contact Diamond Art Club and they would guarantee it still. But, like if you were to buy it from Amazon, they have where you can go in and you can register your canvases. So I didn't know if they had something like that or not. I didn't think they did, but I thought, well, it didn't hurt to ask. And they did not. So, and then I looked at the prices and I thought, I do not need another diamond painting. I did not come to Expo for diamond paintings, but I did have a coupon from that company and I could have saved 30%. Plus I had the 25% because it was before noon, but I'm like, I don't need anything, and nothing really piqued my interest anyway. I was more interested in Diamond Dots, and then I looked and nothing really interested me there either. And I just thought, nope, I do not need anything. I am good to go. Let's just keep on walking. And I didn't go back to that booth just in case I might find something that I wanted, because I have been really good with my low buy. Haven't bought anything, which I know that's surprising, but I have been super good and have not purchased anything. I don't plan on purchasing anything right now, although there are some companies that have just come out with some new releases that I would love to have, but I am holding my own. So that was that weekend, and we had such a really good time. Now we are looking forward to the retreat that is in Tybee Island in Georgia. That's in September. And so my best friend is going to be going with me, and she didn't diamond paint, but that's okay because she has plenty to do with her cards. I'm going to be diamond painting. I'm not sure what I'm going to be working on yet. I still have a couple of months or a month and a half before I have to really start thinking about what I'm going to work on. But I am thinking that I may just take some smaller canvases and work on those instead of taking a larger canvas and see what all I can get done. And then also taking a couple of Paint Gym minis that I have got to start focusing on. And with Paint Gym, that's going to be part of my 2027 goals for next year. I just need to see how that's going to work out for me, how that's going to come into play with everything else that I want to do. But I do have an overabundance of Paint Gym, so I really do like them. And I was working on them quite a bit. I got bored with it and I hadn't done it in a long time. So I might work on those. I'm not exactly sure, but I know I'm not going to take a large canvas. Next year, I have already signed up for a retreat in March, and it sounds like the host that is doing the retreat for Tybee Island, that she doesn't plan on doing another retreat next year unless that has changed. There hasn't been a lot of communication yet on that retreat, so I'm not really sure, but I'm assuming that's going to be a no. And if it's next year around the same time, I won't be able to go anyway because we are working on a very large family. Well, I shouldn't say it's not a large family, but it's going to be just the two of us, my husband and I. We're going to go on a cruise, and we are pulling out all the stops on this cruise, which I'm really excited about. But if that's the case, it'll be around the same time. And if it's not around the same time, I don't know if I'd be able to go because I'm going to be saving up for this cruise. So we'll see how next year's retreats go. It may only be the one in March, and then my best friend and I, more than likely, we will go back to Expo and do that again. But, you know, who knows? We still have time in 2026, and there may be some retreats in 27 that really interest me, that I really want to go to. I would love to go to the Texas retreat, but I don't know, because I would have to fly, and I don't know if I want to spend all that extra money. So we'll see what happens, what I'm going to do next year. I'm just trying to really buckle down and finish this year strong, or strong as I can, because here we are almost at the end of July, which is hard for me to believe, and I still don't have a finish. I have not had a finish since May, so here we are going on month 2 without a finish. I might be able to have Simon finished. I don't know though. I still have quite a bit to go on that one. That is the only one that's what I work on at night. So I only work on it at night. It's upstairs. I don't bring it down into my craft room. I have honestly thought about bringing it down to my craft room during the day next week to see how much I can actually get done. I only have like 6 sections to go, but if I don't get it finished by the end of August or end of July, I know it's going to be done by the end of August. So at least I know that I've got something that I'm working towards. So that's definitely going to be good, because I have still my 26 for 26. I have gotten drills on all of them, but I haven't finished anything. And I am just spinning the wheel, the random wheel picker, and then whatever it lands on, that's what I am working on. And I was going to just do another random wheel picker and see how many sections that I should do whenever I land on a particular diamond painting, but decided no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to decide how much I want to do of that diamond painting once I land on it. And then once I get that part done, then I will go ahead and I will spin the wheel, and I will do another one. And the granddaughter, I was trying to keep her occupied on whatever day it was, Tuesday or Wednesday, and she was absolutely infatuated with my random wheel spinner, which is on my phone. She loves my phone because it's a larger phone, and she just loves my phone, and I'm the only one that really lets her play with it. Of course, I've had problems with that because she did get my phone one day on French. The entire phone translated to French. I didn't know what I was going to do because I don't know anything. I don't know how to speak French or read it or anything. So finally figured out how to get back on English. That took me a hot minute. I had to end up getting on my computer because I couldn't read anything on my phone. Got that done, but she just loves the spinner. I taught her how to do it. I don't know if that's a good idea, but now I'm letting her spin for my canvases. So this is the one that she spun last night, and that's what I've been working on today. And this one has not been chosen yet. So I'm like, you go, girl. I'm glad that you chose this one. So yay me. I am just, the more that I work on this canvas, the more I am absolutely in love with it. And I don't understand why, because it's so monochromatic. There's not hardly any color to this, but it is just going to be beautiful. I have not seen it finished. I don't want to see it finished until I work on it, but it's a lot of confetti. And then it's also, the colors are monochromatic on the canvas. And so sometimes I don't really have a hard time reading the canvas. All of the symbols are very clear, but just if I'm trying to do one symbol at a time, which is what I usually do, sometimes I am missing some of these because it's so monochromatic that it's easy to overlook. But the drills are perfect. I haven't had any trash. I'm almost done with the first column, and that's my plan. I'm going to do 3 sections on this canvas, and then I will spin the wheel or have Claire spin the wheel if she's around, and then I'll see what my next canvas is. But I want to get to the end of this column. I don't know if I will get it done by the end of the weekend. I would love to, but since we're going out tonight, by the time that we get home, it will be late in the evening, and then I will go and sit outside with my husband, and I will be working on Simon. And then I'll pick this up tomorrow. I did all my housework today that I needed to do, and so tomorrow is going to be my play day. I do need to vacuum in my craft room. I was going to do it today, but both of the animals were sound asleep. Abby, our cat, is on my blanket, which I would have loved to have covered up with because it's cold down here, but I didn't want to disturb the poor kitty, so I went ahead and let her stay under there, and I just didn't have the heart to get the vacuum cleaner out because she is scared of it. And Molly was down here, and Molly has such high anxiety for loud noises. She hates the vacuum cleaner, and so I just couldn't do it. So I will vacuum tomorrow. I have straightened up my craft room. It is finally looking good. I still have a little bit more work to do down here. I need to decorate next. That's going to be something I may do tomorrow. I may hang up some pictures and some diamond paintings. That's really all that I have for you guys. I don't want to just rattle on and not really have anything else. It's really all that I had planned on covering with you guys. And I thought it would be a little bit longer in this, but 30 minutes I think is really good. It's I think a good midway point. So if you enjoyed this video, please click on that like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you here. And until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.
I'm gonna get to Claire. I'm gonna get to Claire.
Abby, why are you on my blanket? Why did you steal my blanket? And now you're all over it. I hope you're comfy.